Welcome back, wonderful humans. I'm Danielle and I currently live alone and I'm trying to shift towards healthy meals whilst remaining on a budget. I didn't do a food plan for this week and it shows. I had some off track days for sure, but without further ado, here's what I ate this week. On Saturday for lunch, we went into Weatherspoons and I went for the grilled chicken katsu with rice and I shared some poppadoms with my mum too, one of the lower calorie items on the menu. When I got home, I found myself finishing off those cakes I baked last week and having some avocado on toast topped with red chili flakes and a bit of salt for dinner. A decent day calorie wise, but not so much for actual nutrition. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing inherently bad here. It could have just been so much better for myself personally. Moving on to Sunday, and for once it wasn't a lazy start, but a productive start. And that meant I forgot to eat until it was solidly into brunch time. I did some corn cakes with some soft cheese, cucumber, and tuna, one of my favourite simple, yummy combos that you see a few times throughout this week. I then opened those chili flavour rice cracker snacks from the grape tree that I got last week and ate way too many of them before having a honey and mustard dressing covered chicken salad for dinner. And yes, I did forget to film various meals throughout this week. So if you see a bit of dodgy footage or just simply some photos, that's why. But it happens sometimes. And it does mean I get to highlight things like the fact that I did put some silver skin onions into my chicken salad to give it a bit of extra acidity and a bit more depth as well as a bit of crunch. And I love a bit of crunch. And on Monday, it was the dreaded 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. shift. I grabbed some Greek yogurt, chia seeds, peanut butter, berries for breakfast before having a chicken and salad sandwich for lunch. If you can't tell by now, I roasted an entire extra large chicken at the weekend. So, given I live by myself, it does mean that I did end up having quite a lot of bits of chicken to get through in various ways. So, hopefully, if nothing else, this week of video provides you with a bit of inspiration. And I finished off the rest of those cracker snacks too, because yes, I did eat that many of them the day before. But I then kept it simple with some chicken drumsticks and chicken wings, potato, parsnip, and tender stem broccoli for dinner with a splash of gravy too. I obviously could have done a few more trimmings, but I wanted to try to balance out the fact that I did have quite a lot of those cracker snacks, and that then there was some of that chicken fat, chicken skin on the actual chicken itself as well. Tuesday, I somehow forgot to add the peanut butter, but I had a pretty similar breakfast to what I did on Monday. Then I just followed it up with some avocado and chicken on toast for lunch, with a little bit of 50% chocolate too. Now, I need somebody to tell me, is 50% actually what we call dark chocolate? Because for some reason in my head, it was always 70%. But apparently, 50%, at least in the world of the Simply Little range, is dark chocolate. I mean, I don't mind it. It still has that little bit of sweetness, and there is definitely that bitterness there as well. I just always view it needing to be a slightly higher content for it to actually count there. But for dinner on Tuesday, I made myself up a chicken and sweet corn risotto that had some onion and mushroom mixed through as well, and with a bit of broccoli on the side. And when I was doing that chicken, when I was roasting it all up, I made my own chicken stock afterwards and I put that into the risotto so it was extra flavourful. Moving on to Wednesday, and I remembered the peanut butter for breakfast this time. And I was so nervous when I picked up the chia seeds, but I'm pleased that I did. I like the crunch, and they really seem to add an extra sort of round wholeness to the meal, which I think for breakfast is extra important. But lunch was just some fried eggs with toast. I made it into a sandwich in the end, and a bit more of that chocolate too. I was in a bit of a snacking mood this week. But that's normally why I avoid buying snacks, because if I buy them, I eat them. And if I ever have a snack without footage, I still try to include them in the calorie breakdown on the screen too. So if you ever see something mentioned there that isn't in the footage, that's why. But for Wednesday's dinner, it was just some of the yakitori paste that I got from Lidl a long time ago with some chicken, broccoli, and some instant noodles. It wasn't anything fancy, but it did get that paste out of the cupboard after sitting in there for months with the best intentions to use it and just never quite getting round to it. Thursday's breakfast was completely different. I'd ran out of my Greek yogurt, and I do hope that they have some more in Lidl this weekend when I go to grab some. But I did just have some refreshing cucumber with soft cheese on toast to get me going for the day. And then for lunch, I ended up having some corn cakes with some more soft cheese on, topped with some tuna, and a side of berries as well. I was finishing off some of the berries that I did have. Still have some of the blueberries left, but I wanted to use the raspberries up because they never seem to last quite as long before they start to turn. Dinner was just air fryer vegetables and a bunch of gravy. I should have added some roast beetroot, but I forgot I had beetroot until after I finished cooking and sat down to eat, which is fine, just means I have beetroot for another meal another time. Friday's breakfast was just a comforting one. It's the end of the week, and I figured a great combination to go with some of those blueberries that I still had would be some lemon curd on some toast. Obviously, didn't eat them together, but I've seen plenty of sort of cakes and things that are lemon and blueberry combination, so I figured it would work quite well. Whereas lunch was some soup I had in the freezer that I remembered to defrost. I finally figured out that this one was one of the butternut squash ones that I'd made up, and I heated it up, and then I just had some corn cakes on the side. Whereas dinner was a truly lazy one, no doubt about it. It was just some spaghetti hoops, some simply fish fingers from Lidl, and two fried eggs. But as always, thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I'll catch you again in the next one.